2 hours of non-stop variety starting at 8:40. Washington's Variety Station, 97.1 Wash FM.
Good morning, America. Dangerous deep freeze. More than half the country on alert as heavy snow buries major cities and temperatures plunge. The coldest air in decades slamming the Midwest. Wind chills set to drop 50 degrees below zero in Chicago. And roads turning into ice. Sam Champion is here tracking the latest.
Bracing for another shutdown. As hundreds of thousands of federal workers finally get ready for a paycheck, President Trump warns this may not last. Is another shutdown just weeks away?
All this as the race for 2020 kicks into high gear. The former Starbucks CEO now considering a run, threatening to take on President Trump and the Democrats. Under fire, veteran journalist Tom Brokaw facing backlash for what he said about Latinos and immigration.
Also, I hear when I push people a little harder, I don't know whether I want brown grandbabies. I mean, that's also a part of it.
And now outrage over the way he's apologizing.
Wild ride caught on camera. A man clings to the hood of a car as an SUV hits 70 miles an hour. The dramatic road rage incident and how a man with a gun stopped it.
And Wakanda Forever. Black Panther clawing away the competition, taking home the top prize at the SAG Awards overnight.
We knew that we had something special that we wanted to give the world.
And Glenn Close winning again. What this all means for the Oscars.
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
Good morning, America. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend, and how wonderful for Wakanda Forever.
For Black Panther.
It really was. So could this be a little preview to the Oscars? We'll find out.
We will find out. A lot of cold for a lot of people across America this morning, especially the Midwest. Sweeping across the Midwest right now, temperatures set to plunge well below zero.
And what you're seeing right there is a live look at some roads in Twin Cities, Minnesota. Schools there are shut down this morning. Same for some other places like Chicago. A lot of kids getting a snow day today.
Well, speaking of Chicago, Cecilia, the Chicago River freezing over. That's where wind chills could drop 50 degrees below zero. That city is set to have one of its coldest days in history. Alex Perez is there starting us off. Good morning, Alex.
Hey, good morning, Robin. That's right. We are getting ready for that bitter cold. Now, you can see it's already snowing here right now, which means the morning commute is going to be a complete headache. And take a look behind me here. Underneath all of that snow and ice is actually Lake Michigan. The deep freeze is headed our way.
Overnight, dangerous weather across the country as life-threatening cold gets ready to move in. Parts of the Midwest bracing for some of the coldest temperatures in years. In North Dakota, strong gusts combined with heavy snow creating treacherous and worsening road conditions. And freezing rain and slippery road conditions causing this car to spin out of control and into an embankment. Snow blowing across Minnesota's Highway 75 North, creating blizzard-like conditions. In the east, multi-car accidents shutting down Pennsylvania's I-90, like these cars going off the road. And this car crashing under this tractor trailer. Whiteout conditions not helping emergency crews and plows clear the roads. In Vermont, a combination of snow and heavy rain breaking up ice jams, rapidly flowing into a local waterfall, creating flooding concerns.
As Cecilia said, a number of school districts already closed ahead of all this. The entire region taking a deep breath, bracing for what's to come. Temperatures that could feel like 50 to 60 below zero. Robin?
Looks brutal. All right, Alex, get inside. Thank you. We're going to turn now to Sam Champion. He's in for Ginger, who's on assignment, and Sam was good enough to leave his home in Miami to track the deep freeze for us. Good morning, Sam.
Always happy to be here in Times Square, Robin. Hey, let's talk a little bit about this because we got to get you ready for this. This is not only the coldest temperatures, coldest air we've seen break through the country this year, but in some cases since the 90s. Let's get to the boards. I remember the 90s. I was gainfully employed in the 90s, but some of you are much younger than me. So take a look at those numbers. Remember, Chicagoland, you're coming up with those real temperatures that are 11 below. Is it the coldest day ever in Chicago, where the coldest temperature is 27 below? We'll find out then, but we're going to be very close because, as Alex said, those wind chills are 50 and 60 below. For the rest of the country, the watches and warnings are everywhere. More than half the country's involved. And to our friends in the South, I really need to tell you to pay attention. Hattiesburg, Mississippi has a winter storm advisory out right now. We're looking at 1 to 2 inches of snow in the deep South, and we all know, Atlanta, I love you. I used to live there, but we all know how badly we handle this kind of cold weather on the roads. So get ready for that. And even in New York and New England, where the snowfall totals will be pretty big, inland areas, this is a brutal cold to get ready for. So, George, we just got to get the signal out to everybody now.
Yeah, but wait a minute, Sam, wait a minute. Your mom was going to call you. You should have a hat on, Sam.
You're right.
I mean, you're a smart man.
You're right, Robin, and by Tuesday and Wednesday, I will.
Okay.
Slave to fashion. We're going to go to Washington now, where the government is open again, at least for now. The current deal lasts only through February 15th. President Trump threatening another shutdown if he doesn't get funding for his wall. So what happens next? Far from clear, but the political fallout is pretty clear. A new ABC News Washington Post poll shows nearly 2/3 of Americans don't trust either the president or Democrats to do what's right for the country. I want to bring in our chief White House correspondent, Jonathan Karl. And Jonathan, we could be back in the soup in just a couple weeks.
No question about it, George. In fact, in an interview overnight with the Wall Street Journal, the president put the odds of striking a deal before funding runs out at less than 50-50. And he says he is not wavering on the negotiating position that got him into this situation in the first place. He is saying that a government shutdown is certainly an option, and when asked if he'd be willing to accept anything less than $5.7 billion for the border wall, his original request, he said probably not. But George, there's one big factor working against a shutdown, and that is absolute opposition in both parties from key players on Capitol Hill. In fact, you have a movement from Democrats and Republicans to try to pass a measure that would make shutdowns impossible in the future.
But John, over the course of the shutdown, the president has actually put himself in quite a hole. His approval rating at record lows, and most Americans blame him.
Absolutely. And in our poll, you saw also barely a third say they trust the president to strike a deal. So clear, it hurt his approval rating. He also faced significant opposition from Republicans, especially in the Senate. They won't support him next time around, many of them.
No State of the Union. Any word on when it might be?
No, as a matter of fact, I talked to the Speaker's office today, and they said no date set. There's some expectation it could be a week from tomorrow, but no date is set as of now.
Okay, John Karl, thanks very much, Robin.
And George, as you know, all this as the race for 2020 intensifies. Former Starbucks CEO Howard Schultz now says he's considering a run, taking on both the president and Democrats. Chief National Affairs correspondent Tom Yamas is here, and Tom, Schultz is considering running as an independent.
That's right, Robin, and good morning. The man who gave us so many choices when it comes to coffee believes Americans want something else when it comes to politics. But some Democrats worry that move will only help President Trump, calling the potential independent bid a vanity project and describing it as a catastrophic mistake.
I am seriously thinking of running for president.
Former Starbucks chairman Howard Schultz getting ready to possibly shake up the 2020 race for president, announcing on 60 Minutes and Twitter that if he runs, it won't be as a Republican or a Democrat, tweeting, "I love our country, and I am seriously considering running for president as a centrist independent."
Not only the fact that this president is not qualified to be the president, but the fact that both parties are consistently not doing what's necessary on behalf of the American people and are engaged every single day in revenge politics.
Schultz, a self-described lifelong Democrat, was also a progressive CEO, offering full health and tuition benefits for all employees, even part-time. But some Democrats worry about his independent bid, concerned it will siphon votes from the eventual Democratic nominee. Former San Antonio Mayor Julian Castro, who already announced his bid, saying this:
"It would provide Donald Trump with his best hope of getting reelected."
Now, Schultz will be on a book tour over the next few months, traveling the country, and he'll make a decision at some point following that tour. He has already assembled a team of political advisors and says he will try to get on the ballot in every state if he runs. We're going to have to wait and see, guys, but the news is definitely shaking up the Democratic side of the race so far.
A lot of people have tried that independent run, never worked.
It's tough.
Okay, Tom Yamas, thanks very much.
Let's turn to the Russia investigation now, and new developments involving Roger Stone, the president's longtime friend and advisor, speaking out in a new interview with George. And Stone is defiant after last week's indictment. But the big question right now, will he cooperate with the special counsel? Our Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas is in Washington with more on this. Good morning, Pierre.
Cecilia, good morning. Stone is expected here in Washington in the next 24 hours for a court appearance on Tuesday. As we saw yesterday in his interview with George on This Week, the self-proclaimed dirty trickster is pushing back hard. Facing up to 20 years in prison if convicted, Roger Stone, the president's longtime friend and occasional advisor, vowing to fight the indictment.
There is nothing to find. It is designed to intimidate me or perhaps seek personal information that it could be used to embarrass me.
Stone says it's all overkill and is offended by the FBI's raid of his home on Friday that included a tactical team.
This was an expensive show of force to try to depict me as public enemy number one. These are Gestapo tactics.
But while he was blasting the special counsel, Stone did not rule out cooperating with prosecutors.
Any chance you'll cooperate?
That's a question I would have to I'd have to determine after my attorneys have some discussion. If there's wrongdoing by other people in the campaign that I know about, which I know of none, but if there is, I would certainly testify honestly.
He's never suggested to you in any way, shape, or form that he might offer you a pardon?
Absolutely, positively not.
Stone is accused of serving as an intermediary between the Trump campaign and WikiLeaks, which published those damaging emails about the Clinton campaign. Emails the U.S. intelligence community says the Russian government hacked from the DNC and Clinton's campaign chairman, John Podesta. Investigators believe Stone tried to cover up his pursuit of WikiLeaks in contacts with senior Trump campaign officials when he learned the FBI and Congress began investigating Russian interference. He's charged with lying to Congress, obstruction, and witness tampering. While he might cooperate with the special counsel, Stone is vowing to never bear false witness against President Trump. Friday's indictment makes no allegation that Trump or anyone in his campaign directly colluded with the Russians. George?
Okay, Pierre, thanks very much. Let's bring Chris Christie out with a new book this week. It's called Let Me Finish, Trump, the Kushners, Banned in New Jersey, and the Power of In-Your-Face Politics. Welcome back, Chris. You know, we just heard Pierre say there's no direct charge of collusion in this latest indictment. And you write in the book that the campaign wasn't organized enough to collude.
No, listen, this was a campaign where folks really, at the very top of the campaign, for most of it, had no experience, George, in national politics or even local politics. And so they were just trying to figure out how to get field people hired in places like Pennsylvania, let alone try to run some kind of Tom Clancy operation.
They seemed willing to entertain information coming from the Russians, the Trump Tower meeting. And given that, how do you explain the wealth of lies about contacts with Russia?
Well, look, George, as I say in the book, one of the president's biggest problems has been that some of the people he's surrounded himself with have just not been good people. You know, folks like Mike Flynn, folks like Steve Bannon, folks, you know, that all throughout the book you see Omarosa, for God's sake, being in the White House. I mean, these are just bad personnel choices, and I don't think the president understood as well as he does now that bad personnel choices lead to bad results.
Talk about not understanding. You'd write of a scene inside, I think it was the Oval Office, the dining room off the Oval Office. You're having lunch with the president and Jared Kushner after he's fired Michael Flynn. They thought that would end the Russia investigation?
Yeah, I said, you know, listen, Flynn's the only guy who spoke to the Russians, apparently, and he said, so, you know, I think this is going to end it, and I just laughed. And I said, Mr. President, it's unfortunate that I have to tell you this, but having done this myself for a living, we're going to be talking about this on Valentine's Day, February 18. They laughed out loud, and Jared told me I was crazy. But they had no experience in government and no experience in this. And what I was trying to do was help them and say, listen, you guys need to get ready for a war. I turned out I undersold it, George. We're going to be talking about it on Valentine's Day 2019, not just 2018. And I think they just didn't understand that, and that's detailed pretty well in the book.
So overnight, Howard Schultz thinking of running as an independent. We've got probably 20 Democrats looking to run. Some concern inside Republican circles that maybe President Trump is vulnerable to primary challenge. Do you think so?
I don't think so. I don't think so at all, George. Not now, not the way things look to me. I think he's going to run for re-election and run for renomination. And I look at the Howard Schultz stuff is some of the best news that Donald Trump's gotten politically in a long time. Coming in second only to Hillary Clinton saying she's not closing the door. I mean, if you have a Hillary Clinton candidacy and a Howard Schultz as an independent, you know what's going to happen. We saw what Ross Perot did to George H.W. Bush in 1992. He was right of center, and he took a lot of votes from George H.W. Bush, and many people think that led to Bill Clinton's election. I think Howard Schultz would do much the same thing to whoever the Democratic nominee is. I think it's good news for the president.
Chris Christie, thanks very much.
Thank you.
All right, George, how about some tennis news? Novak Djokovic and Naomi Osaka, both of them taking home the Australian Open titles. Djokovic winning for a record-setting seventh time down under in straight sets. over Rafael Nadal. It's his 15th major overall. And how about this? Naomi Osaka is now the #1 player in the world after claiming her second major in a hard-fought 3-set match. You'll remember it. Her first major win, of course, was at the U.S. Open back in September, where she beat Serena. And we will speak with Naomi. I'm looking forward to this one exclusively right here on GMA on Wednesday. That is going to be a lot of fun. She's amazing.
She really is. She really is. Now we're going to turn to that big night in Hollywood, the SAG Awards. Black Panther was one of the night's biggest winners. So what does that mean for the Oscars? Well, Chris Conley has all the details in L.A. up bright and early. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Robin. Quite the interesting night at the SAG Awards with unexpected winners that could roil some key Oscar races and heartfelt speeches. One of them a thoughtful tribute to a film that's become a cultural phenomenon.
And the actor goes to Black Panther.
Wakanda tonight. With its win for Best Cast, Black Panther electrified Sunday's SAG Awards and shook up Oscar's Best Picture race.
We know what it's like to be the tail and not the head. We know what it's like to be beneath and not above. We knew that we had something special that we wanted to give the world.
The landmark Marvel film securing a major win ahead of the Academy Awards, where it's the first superhero movie to be nominated for Hollywood's top honor.
Rami Malek.
Rami Malek's Best Male Actor win over Vice's Christian Bale. Another surprise with Academy Award implications.
I have anecdotes about what it is to be an actor and delivering pizzas and stuff like that, but I will spare you.
Green Book's Mahershala Ali solidified his hold on supporting actor with a SAG win.
You have said in the past that when you come to these, you're steeling yourself not to win.
I'm a Yankee, man. We're pretty practical.
Glenn Close. So Glenn Close was practically overjoyed by her Best Female Actor win for The Wife, beating out Lady Gaga for A Star Is Born, a film that walked away empty-handed. The two embracing as Close took the stage, where she acknowledged actors who cope with showbiz's ups and downs.
I think of all of you watching on TV, all of you who haven't had the chances that we've had, and I salute you with this.
One of those at the top of the telecast, Jeffrey Owens from The Cosby Show, recalling the journey that moved so many.
Instead of switching careers like a sane person, I took a job at a local Trader Joe's to see if I could hang in there with my career. And it's actually worked out pretty well.
I'm Jeffrey Owens, and I am an actor.
That was a great moment. Meanwhile, Emily Blunt won the SAG version of a supporting actress for A Quiet Place. Remember, she was not nominated by the Academy. If Beale Street Could Talk's Regina King, who didn't get a SAG nod, is thought to be among the Oscar favorites. Guys?
And Jeffrey Owens is going to have a few more job offers now.
Remember when he was here in our studio?
So great.
Oh, goodness.
Good
so
for him.
deserving, yeah.
Let's go back to Sam.
All right, the biggest headline of the weekend weather is the coldest temperatures this country has seen since the 90s. Remember the 90s? I remember them well. So we're talking about 10 in Nashville, 16 in Raleigh, and those wind chills right around the Great Lakes are 50 to 60 below zero. Here's your selected cities brought to you by Simple Truth Products.
At Simple Truth, we believe the natural and organic foods that make you feel good should be free from artificial preservatives and ingredients, free from GMOs, and free from things you can't pronounce. We believe these foods should be sourced responsibly and free from high prices, too. That's why at Simple Truth, we're proud of our foods, and we're proud of what's not in them.
It's a good day to be alive.
Well, it's cold, at least it's dry, though. Out the door this Monday morning for work, for school, just have that warm coat. We've got a few scattered clouds out there right now, but by 11 o'clock, clouds thinning, 34, 39 degrees at 2 o'clock this afternoon. By 5 o'clock, 39. Our high, 41. We're still dry at 8 o'clock with clear skies, 35. Dry and cold out the door tomorrow, but it's a weather alert day. A wintry mix transition to snow. It is going to be sloppy, icy for the Tuesday evening rush, and then Arctic air moves in late week.
About the 90s, we'll have a chair for you.
Well, not only did I live them, Robin, but I lived them here, which is like scarier. Please don't anyone remember any of this. Let me show you something really super cool, though. How cold is it? You know, you blow a little bubble with the soap and you put it outside. Watch this thing freeze and break. Wow. That's in Minnesota now. we're going to do much worse than that by the time we get to Wednesday. Wednesday's the worst day of the week. Folks.
All right, Sam, thank you. Hey, we got Tom Brokaw, who's under fire for what he said about Hispanics. We'll talk about that and the backlash of its apology when we come back.
This is your wake-up call.